Manchester United and Arsenal have had a massive piece of encouraging news from Ajax. They are now willing to completely coordinate and agree and sell Lisandro Martinez. Talks over the weekend between both Arsenal and Manchester United with Ajax have furthered this deal forward. Now, Manchester United want this deal to be complete before Friday. Of course, they fly off for their pre-season tour. Arsenal are in the process of increasing their bid for the centre-back. We're going to delve into that, plus Frankie de Jong's agent at Manchester United's training ground, and a big report from The Athletic this morning on Cristiano Ronaldo. Will he leave? Will he go AWOL? Will he stay? Or could this request to go actually benefit Manchester United? We're taking your calls this morning live on the Football Terrace. Lots to go through. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Let's do this. Good morning. What is set to be a fantastic week in the transfer market. Lots of trials, lots of tribulations, lots of ups, lots of downs for the Premier League's top six. No better place to be in the terrace. We'll bring you as much of that news as possible. But another morning where the airways, where the Twitter feeds are dominated by Lisandro Martinez, by Frankie de Jong, by Cristiano Ronaldo. Some other updates for you as well, but we're taking your calls this morning. I know a lot of you are chomping at the bit to have your say after what transpired over the course of the weekend. But remember, we are sponsored by private internet access, and a lot of you are on the internet. You're on your phones, you're on your computers all day, every day at the moment, seeking and searching transfer news. The best and most secure way of using the internet is with a VPN provider. The one we recommend is private internet access. The link's in our description below. You can also scan that QR code right there on the screen. 3 months free and up to 82% discount courtesy of the Football Terrace. Really check it out and protect your data from hackers and all sorts of weird and wonderful things on the internet. Go and check that out. But this was the news this morning that came out via, obviously, the European Dad shares it, but it's from Mike Verwey, maybe the most credible journalist from the Netherlands, one of the most credible journalists in Europe, who has stated that Man United want to complete the signing of Lisandro Martinez before this Friday so that he can go on tour with them. After a long conversation with Manchester United, Ajax are now willing to coordinate with a transfer, but of course still want the 50 million euros. And this is the first time in this deal that an agreement has been come to, a firm agreement where Ajax have conceded that they are willing to sell, that they will sell the player. Of course, the package has got to be absolutely right. But there's been a feeling from both Arsenal and Manchester United's camp over the past 6 to 7 days that an element of negotiation and compromise can be met, because the first bid that Arsenal put in, which was around 30 odd million, was point blank rejected. They increased that slightly to a total package of 38. And that took 4 or 5 days of deliberation before they came back and said, no, we want that a little bit more. So that gives you an indication, the fact that it wasn't point blank turned down in that instant. Now, at the same time, Manchester United want to be careful. And the reason that Manchester United want to be careful in this circumstance is because Arsenal are going absolutely nowhere in this race. Unlike with Rafinha, they pulled out. Man United, the same with Darwin Núñez. They pulled out of the situation when Liverpool got involved. Arsenal pulled out as soon as they realized Chelsea were going in with big money and Barcelona raised their standards. Arsenal have come back in also. Now, Arsenal, according to Simon Jones, as you can see here, are ready to raise their current £38 million offer for Lisandro Martinez as they battle Manchester United for his signature. So both football clubs know that this is the decisive week. Both football clubs know that it's almost a case of this is highly unlikely to not protrude and move on beyond the end of this week, which I think is encouraging news, because it's also a deal that I think everybody's getting to a point where they're like, okay, well, let's kind of move on from this in some respects. Let's get this done. Let's get it dusted. Arsenal have got other transfer targets. Who are they going to go for instead of Rafinha? Can they get Youri Tielemans tied off? United, of course, want to get this De Jong deal over the line as well. They then want to also use these signings to convince Christian Eriksen to join, and then it will be a full-on assault to bring in a new attacker, especially with the situation with Cristiano Ronaldo still kind of droning on, still creating problems in relation to that. And look, I know football fans are all a little bit stressed or a little bit kind of frustrated, especially Man United fans at the minute. But there's some positive news this morning as well. That we're just going to put it up on the screen for you now, just so you can all see it, United fans. If you are feeling a little bit stressed, this picture has just been released this morning. They say that Tyrell Malacia has just arrived this morning at Old Trafford, as you can see. I think that's him. Well, they're saying it's him. It looks like him. I don't know who the guy is in the front, but Malacia has arrived at Old Trafford. So good news there. And of course, there's all the other breaking news out this morning. I think it was all the tweet from Fabrizio. 3 official statements finally confirmed. Jesus to Arsenal. Calvin Phillips joins Manchester City, and obviously Malacia joins Manchester United. Second part of his medical today, but that's all done. I think those deals we all knew. Arsenal, as you say, have formally announced things now, which is, I think, for Arsenal fans, is just a good feeling. It's kind of weird that it's come out. Not weird that it's come out now. I think a lot of people maybe expected it to have come out a little earlier than it did over the weekend and whatnot. But look, clubs have a strategy about when they release these things as a general rule. But for all the Arsenal fans tuning in, there he is. There's your boy. At the Emirates Stadium. Looks good in the kit as well. Looks focused. Looks ready to go. So there we have it. There we have it. Big week ahead. Big signings being made by all these clubs. What do you think is going to happen? Now, another story. We are going to put the link actually in for you guys to start going backstage now, for you guys to get ready to phone in. Let me just share that link right about now, so you guys are ready to go. But I think, look, I've said this to a few people over the course of the last week, over this weekend. The Ronaldo situation is a very interesting one for Manchester United. Very, very interesting indeed. And I say that because we're kind of in this point where we're at this sort of point where, I want to make sure I say this in the right way. Ronaldo leaving, asking to go, maybe going AWOL. There are positives and there are negatives to this for both sides. And I'm going to delve in as to why. There's talk in The Athletic this morning that actually what Ronaldo is doing is putting a lot of pressure upon the Manchester United board to complete these signings quickly, get them over the line. By all accounts, Ronaldo really likes Ten Hag. They like what he likes, the ideas that he's got and the direction that he wants to take the football club in. This is all great. This is all good to hear. This is all good to see. This is all good to read. But of course, he wants to know this team is going to be able to compete this year in the competitions of which it's in. So when you actually read through what's kind of been said and everything else, it's an interesting one, because there is this thought that it was said that they don't know when he's going to arrive back to training this week, which is the media alluding to the fact that will he go AWOL? Will he try and force the move? I'm not too sure if he will. And the reason that I say this is because Bayern Munich right now have said it's a non-starter. They're not going to buy him. There aren't many clubs in Italy that can either afford him, want him, or have Champions League football to give him. The same as in Spain. Barca are not going to sign him. Real Madrid are not going to sign him. He's not going to play for Atletico Madrid. It's not going to happen. Napoli, there's an idea around Napoli, but yes, he'll be in the Champions League to score some goals, but what's he winning at Napoli? With all due respect to Napoli, what's he going to win at Napoli? Absolutely niche. So he's kind of in this position. Chelsea is probably the only option. Chelsea Football Club is probably the only option for Cristiano Ronaldo to go to. And there's no sign yet that Thomas Tuchel wants him. This could end up being, if he leaves, I think this could end up being a last moment of the transfer window. If one of these clubs that right now is not interested loses out on a player, somebody has to leave, gets an injury, if there's suddenly a hole towards the end of August that appears, then maybe someone will put this last minute kind of bid in. But this is where Man United have got to be really, really careful. And I think the meeting this week, the schedule between Ronaldo and Ten Hag is key. Can they get him on side? Can they get him to a point where, what we have to hope for is that all the reports suggest, big respect for the club, but wants the club to challenge and be better this year. It's all about the professionalism. Do you think Ronaldo will down tools? Do you think Ronaldo will become a problem? Another part of the article, and it's an interesting take here. It says here that I want to read this out. It says some close to Man United doubt whether Ronaldo already has a move lined up. Others intimate knowledge of transfer market, and Mendes finds it difficult to believe the agent would act this way without any club being seriously interested. There was also talk about how there's sort of a feeling that some kind of players in the squad would feel liberated if Cristiano Ronaldo was to leave. So there's also so many conflicting stories surrounding this Cristiano Ronaldo situation. Why would they feel liberated? Is that liberated because Ronaldo's not a nice person to them? Or is that liberated because they think the standards would be lower? That's where Man United, and look, we can all sit here and speculate. We can all have our own opinions, and that's what we're entitled to do as football fans. But this is already the first big hurdle in terms of management for Erik Ten Hag. Because let's just say Ronaldo wants to leave because he doesn't believe in this group of players, and he doesn't want to spend his last year at the elite level in a struggling team. That's a fair enough statement for Ronaldo to make. But the gauntlet is then laid down to the squad and to Ten Hag. Whether he stays or goes, the gauntlet's laid. Will prove to me you can raise the standards. And look, I would say this about Cristiano Ronaldo. Nobody should be bigger than Manchester United. And the only way that's true is if Ronaldo himself puts the hard work in. There's so many ways of looking at this. Is Ronaldo actually panicking a little bit because the style of football that Ten Hag is going to demand is going to expose his 37-year-old turning 38-year-old body? And in fact, he's just trying to get himself out so that he can score the goals and perform elsewhere, but not sort of be exposed at this age. I've heard that theory online, and I think they all hold a fair amount of water. I think they're all, to a degree, credible opinions. It just depends sort of what way you want to look at this and how you think about it and how you feel about it. I think these things are all, I think they're all rather important, if that makes sense. I just sort of feel like there's so many which ways, but I want to get your views and opinions on it. Do me a favor this morning and smash that like button, please. It's important. Comment here says it's Mendes making United move quickly to sign players. And that could just be it. Maybe Ronaldo is happy with the style next season. Maybe Ronaldo's happy with Ten Hag. Maybe he's happy with the vast majority of the squad. I know he wasn't the whole time last year. Maybe he feels like it'll be better this year, but hang on, we need to get these players in. Maybe he's using his power and his weight and his influence to push these things forward. Of course, that's also another theory. There are so many theories. There are so many thoughts. As I said yesterday, that there were people, he ruined Ollie's system. For 18 league goals, he ruined Ollie's system. And a lot of these people that tweeted it were the same people that there's no consistency with this. The only thing I'm not really angry at anything Ronaldo's doing. It actually doesn't bother me because we're at the start of a rebuild. He's going to go at the end of next season anyway. We were never going to be perfect this campaign. If he leaves now, we don't even have a replacement for him. It's not the end of the world. We weren't meant to be the finished article this season. Nobody is predicting us to finish in the top 4 anyway. So, United fans, stop panicking because it doesn't change anything that anybody thinks about us. They're bantering. So if they're bantering you, because you'll be worse. Well, you said we were going to be bad and it was going to fail and we couldn't attract anybody anyway. So the banter should be simplistic to handle. And in reality, that's how it is. The only thing I'm concerned about is him going AWOL. The only thing I'm concerned about is him undermining Ten Hag instantly. And I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo will do that. I don't think he will do that to Manchester United. Not with Fergie still about the club. I'm being serious. I do not think he would do it for that reason alone. Plus, I think his own professionalism, his own standards, his own image, I think he'll turn up. I think he'll turn up and he'll be there. And I think he'll put a shift in. I really do. Let's be real, Terry. Ronaldo has never been a team player. So why are we shocked that he makes a decision that only benefits himself? Look, Cristiano Ronaldo has been, always has been a team player. I don't know where this notion comes from. If you speak to people that have played with him across the first stint at Man United, at Real Madrid, speak to his Portuguese teammates about him as an example, the consummate professional. But football players have to be selfish. Football clubs are selfish. If Man United right now, let's say the world changed, and right now we could sign Mbappe or Haaland, or we could sign Lewandowski, but they want to be the main number 9, and United, the only way we can do this is if we sell Ronaldo. Man United would sell Ronaldo. They would be cutthroat, they would be decisive, and go, boom, out, new guy in. So why can't players be as disloyal as football clubs are to them? Football clubs are more disloyal to players than the players are to football clubs, as a general rule. You know, you're an Arsenal fan. Are your Arsenal fans cry in the past about why isn't this player loyal? Why is that player not loyal? And then as soon as your club doesn't want a player because they deem him not good enough anymore, boom, they're allowed to just get rid of him. And no one sits there and says, why are Arsenal not being more loyal to Granit Xhaka when they were trying to sell him last summer? Well, why? Because you want better, right? I don't think it's about not being a team player at all, my friend. I really, really don't. But look, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. Erin Hart here says, I don't think he will turn up. Now, call in today, people. I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're thinking and you're feeling about your team summer transfer window thus far. And of course, the big breaking news this morning that finally, there's been a breakthrough. It's been pushed across as Man United news, but I think this is also positive for Arsenal that Ajax are now willing to coordinate a transfer for Lisandro Martinez. That sale will happen. 50 million euros is still the asking price. Arsenal are about to increase their bid. Manchester United want this done by Friday so he can go on their pre-season tour. But the question for you all this morning is, where is he going to end up? Will it be Manchester United? Will it be Arsenal Football Club? We've had our say on this on the Terrace. We've had panelists. We've had Wax Online on the show. But this is your time to shine and to have your say. There's another super chat here that says, Terry, check Harry Maguire's latest post. It's ridiculous. Oh, what, him sliding on his knees? Listen, Harry Maguire does what Harry Maguire does. I would just ignore it. I really would. If De Jong stays, so be it. Move on and get Neves, Hidara, etc. However, still give it time for Frankie. A lot of people saying we wasted too much time. There is still just under 2 months, and what, about 57 days left in the transfer window. There's a long way to go. United have worked on other midfielders. They've put feelers out already. There's a plan without him. If he ends up staying, then he stays. It's really interesting. We put a poll out yesterday. Will Frankie de Jong sign for United or take a major pay cut and stay at Barca? Ben Jacobs put in a third option, basically saying, well, what if he just stays at Barcelona and stays on the money that he's on? And that is a third option, but it doesn't feel likely because I'm just going with the human nature. Barcelona, for me, feel like that they're forcing him into a corner. You either go or you take a pay cut. And if you stay without the pay cut, we're going to make your life hell. And that for me is the element that I think is helping Manchester United. And we've seen this happen before with players. So look, the Frankie de Jong deal was still very much on, very active, very close to an agreement with Barca. And I stand by my belief on this the whole time. I believe if you go back to the origins of the story, the early reports, they're there for you to find. When it was reported more than a month ago that Ten Hag had convinced De Jong to join, or some of the reports said that, turned his head. Some reports said that he was now very open to joining Manchester United. I do not believe there's a catch chance in hell that during those conversations, terms were not agreed to, at least in principle. I don't believe that. So if United get a deal done with Barca, I believe they will get Frankie de Jong. I haven't been able to That's it. Harrison here says, Terry, literally no reliable journalist has said that he's willing to half his wages. And this is also part of it. And I know that there is still the option where he just stays on the money that he's on. But Barca don't want that. That's why they're pushing hard to get rid of him. It really is. James here says, no player would feel liberated if Ronaldo left. This spin by Laurie Whitwell, who has never really criticized the Glazers and kept quiet on Dividends Day. These journalists protect themselves. Listen, I agree. I'm only going with the Ronaldo AWOL thing because I'm asking the question. And my tweet about it today, I'm pretty sure. Let me go back and read it because sometimes I forget what I write. I swear I did say, will Ronaldo go AWOL to force a move? It is a question. Now, a lot of people will take that question and they'll spin it into, oh my God, Terry said, I'm not saying you will go AWOL. I'm simply stating, could he go AWOL is the question. Listen, I don't think this Ronaldo thing is as deep as everybody's making it. People are really making this Ronaldo situation like, oh my God, Ronaldo's such a bad guy. There are other people saying, oh, it's the best thing that happened to Man United since Fergie left. I think it's all a big exaggeration. You're all being dragged into the PR. Ronaldo's using the transfer market to trigger people that are not happy with the transfer market. Man United are using Ronaldo anti-prop. The Glazers are using it so that the United fans that didn't want him here side with them in this argument, when actually the truth very much in the middle. Ronaldo wants to be assured that the team is going to be better this year. He believes in Ten Hag, but right now the players haven't come in and he wants to make sure the attitude is right. Also, a lot of this news is old. And what Mendes did for his agent, he's been doing for Ronaldo. There's summers when Ronaldo was in his pomp at Madrid, where there was talks of returns to United, where there was talks of moving clubs, because agents always keep doors open for their clients. Always. It's always happened. I don't think it's as deep as people are making out, but it wouldn't be Man United without it being deep. United's fan base have some of the biggest panic merchants ever. Positive reports is PR, but when there's a negative report, they take it seriously. Well, this is the point. The polarization in the Man United fan base is astronomical at times. Arian Hart here says Barcelona and Laporta doing many operations at the same time, whilst the Clowns United waiting. Do people really think Man United are wrong for trying to sign Ronaldo? I know there's De Jong. Do people really think they're wrong? I'd love to know. It's funny, whenever I spoke to rivals about this on the channel, generally, barring Have Hope, they're sort of been like, yeah, I think United are doing the right thing. People would comment and everything else, not so much, but there we go. Terry, any updates on Serge Gnabry? He's not going Arsenal and he's not going Man United. Maybe Man City, but he's highly likely to just sign a new deal at Bayern Munich. The Arsenal talk, Fabrizio shut it down. I think we did a video 2 or 3 days earlier. There's not been a single credible report to Arsenal. So Arsenal fans, this isn't a dig. It's just relax. Because it isn't happening, not because you're a rubbish club, not because you're not going for him. You know, he doesn't want to. I don't think he'd join a team like Man United or Arsenal at this stage. I just don't think he would. So there we go. Comment here, Style. It says stupid signing for United. United need 4 to 5, 30 million to build a foundation. It's an interesting take that United need to do that. But United, even with Frankie de Jong, Man United are still motoring towards signing around 5 players this summer. So United have signed Malacia. They could, listen, the point I'd make is this to you, my friends. It's a fair point, but let's just break this down. They sign Malacia. Say they sign, if they don't sign Martinez, I'll sign somebody else, right? Because we can tell it's a priority. So it will be Martinez or another defender. Let's say they get de Jong. We're using your example here. Christian Eriksen, if we sign those players, favourites to get him. You're on 4. United will then move on to an attacker. Maybe it's, and I'm going to use Anthony's name because it's in the media. So you bring in, that's 5. We're literally where you are. But, so I don't get that's, if we buy de Jong and one other player because we've used our budget, your point makes sense. But when you read the news, we're tracking towards 5 signings anyway. So we're hitting your number with de Jong. So the question I would say to you is, why is De Jong bad? Like, on your logic, why is De Jong bad if we're still getting 5 to 6 players? Wouldn't 5 to 6 players at a higher value, an average higher value, because Martinez is going to be more than 30 million. You've got Anthony will be more than 30 million. De Jong will be more than 30 million. Eriksen is would be worth more than 30 million if he had a contract you were buying him out of, potentially. Maybe not at his age, maybe a little bit less. So, yeah, I don't know. I think your logic's a little bit off there, Benny boy. Why do we take the negative so seriously? Is the club having no ambition with these owners and falling more behind the top 3 clubs, which is a criminal of... I get why Man United fans take the negativity, same as a lot of Gooners have done in the past. You take the negativity more seriously because of PTSD. We've been here before. We've been let down before. And I saw a tweet yesterday digging, there's meant to be a new United. There is... because it's new people running the regime, doing the negotiations, football people making football decisions, a new manager and coaching staff. But who in their right mind thought, who in their right mind believed that it was all going to be fixed by the 4th of July? Who thought that you were going to appoint a new manager and new team on the 16th of May, and within 7 weeks, all the failings of 10 years were fixed? It's when you say it out loud, it's like, why is there the outrage? Yes, be annoyed that previous misgivings are still costing things now. And look, we missed out on Darwin Núñez, in my opinion, because of problems from the past. Anyone we miss out on. Why haven't we signed Eriksen yet? Because of the problems of the past. But you can't fix them. I'm annoyed with our past, but I'm not angry at the people doing the job now because they're new. You understand? It's a bit like this. I've hired some builders to come and build me an extension. They've done an awful job. They've ruined it. They've ruined my house. I get rid of them and I sack them. I bring in a brand new team of builders. When they're on site, I'm not going to be angry with them. I'm not going to blame them for the previous people's mistakes. So I can't blame Ten Hag, his coaching staff, and the new people doing our recruitment for what Woodward did wrong. I can keep being annoyed with the Glazers because they're the true consistent here. Maybe I'm so off. Maybe I'm just not. I am not getting it. But I can't be angry at the people doing the recruitment this year because they're new to it. As in, this time last year, they weren't doing the role they're doing now. So it don't make sense. Do you know what I mean? Imagine you replace the person that got sacked at work for doing a bad job, but then you turn up and they put you into a disciplinary hearing. What have I done? Well, we're going to blame you for what the last guy did as well. It's just stupid. It's stupid. It wouldn't happen. From Ronaldo's point of view, winning the Carabao Cup and FA Cup for United is a bigger achievement than winning the sextuple at Bayern. Plus, he's completed the Champions League. He's not got nothing to prove. Look, listen, if he could, this is what I'd try and sell to Ronaldo. And you've got to try and sell it to him. Is look, we'll compete this year. If we win a trophy this year or two, you score lots of goals, you get us back into the Champions League. You're already a legend. You'll cement it further. If you can be part of a Man United team that becomes good again, yeah, of course, there's an added benefit there. But we will see. Terry, Chelsea start pre-season in America on Saturday, and we haven't signed anyone yet. Why has the first signing not come in yet? Look, Chelsea are in a very similar situation to that of Man United. Their work was delayed due to a chain of ownership and then a changing of targets because there was a big disagreement between manager, new owners, and of course the regime that did your transfers. So you are slightly behind. But Raheem Sterling, very, very close and likely. De Ligt has progressed well. We've got updates coming on that later on today, so keep your eye out on the terrace. Chelsea will be okay. All right, we're going to start going to some of your calls this morning. I do want to hear from you. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. But let's get the like button smashed, please. Let's get past 500 while we're live on the air. And please check out the what we've got available. It's available to everybody around the world, pretty much in every country around the world. Private internet access. They are our sponsors on the terrace at this moment in time. You can get up to 82% off. The link will take you through to this page on your phone. You can download their app as well. You also get 3 months free to protect yourself with an unbreakable VPN security and just ensure that you're in a situation whereby your data is being protected. It also does some fun, the VPN does some fun stuff as well. It does do some fun stuff as well in relation to like the best thing I used it for when I was traveling a few months back, and obviously Sky Go wouldn't work in America. So I was able to use a VPN, say I was back in the UK, and I could watch Sky Go completely fine. All little things like that, little peccadillos like that. Get that scanned or use a link in the description below. We want to hear from you. We've got Matt, who's a Chelsea fan, to come on. We've got Pav to come onto the show as well. David and Ray are backstage. But Legendary Villain is coming on first this morning to have his say with us. I want to know I want to know what's going through your minds here. Terry, United fans cried that we don't have a specific player profile we target. Remember and then we have one and everyone gets annoyed. Yeah, listen, I told you about these fungus fans, bro. They change like the weather. James Garner, brilliant passing range, good intelligence and tackler. People need to be excited for this play. Listen, I'm excited to see James Garner actually get an opportunity at Man United. I don't know whether he's good enough or not at the highest level of the game, but I'm excited about seeing him being given an opportunity, an opportunity. Ronaldo has left us twice when we really needed him. You what? He's left Man United twice. When was the other time he left Manchester United? Like, I'm not even being deliberately challenging. I legitimately want to know, when did he leave Man United twice? He's left once. Or am I legitimately missing something here? I'm asking that question. I don't quite get it. First on the show this morning to speak about situations, legendary villain Lisandro Martinez. Where's he going to go? De Jong's agent in Manchester. Ronaldo, is he right? Is he wrong? Legendary villain, what you saying?
Yo, what's up, Simon?
Yeah, I'm good. What you saying, my friend?
Yo, okay. I'm just going to start off with saying this. Certain United fan base, this fan base in general, we are freaking weird. For us to actually go against Cristiano Ronaldo, based on everything he's done last season. The amount of posts I'm seeing about Ronaldo being criticized because he's raising the standards of his club is baffling. Some people are actually saying the reason why we have
Legend, sorry, it's really unclear your line. If you can try calling back with a clearer line, and we're here, it's really like phasing. I'm not too sure what's doing it, my friend. But try calling back in with a clearer line, my friend. The audio is really poor, and we'll get you back. We'll get you back on. Try calling back in. Maybe put some earphones in or do something else. Pav's on the show next. Big Man United fan. What are you saying?
How's it going, man? I'll start off with Ronaldo. I'm not going to attack the guy. I'm not going to call him a snake. When the whole news broke out, I was on Twitter and I jumped in one space. And the first thing I heard was someone saying, I'm an advocate for Marshall FC, blah, blah, blah. I bounced out of there straight away. I was like, I'm not listening to this. Went back in another Twitter space. And some of these are your pals, Terry, who come on it. The amount of slander, the abuse that they were throwing towards Ronaldo, I was like, hold on a second. Like, the man's at the end of his career. If he wants to go and try to win something before he retires, what's the problem? You're all sitting here saying he's never cared about Man United. He's used Man United to build himself a profile. He used Man United to get himself a new contract, blah, blah, blah. I was like, do you not remember what he done for this club? It's not his fault that the owners don't have the same ambition as him and as the fans do across like the globe. I'm not going to sit here and call him a snake. If he wants to go, they should let him go. The guy suffered quite a bit this season. Like, he's had personal problems. He's had people at that club who have snaked him. There's people in that squad who have clearly snaked him. Loads of reports come out about it. And now even the journalists are turning their back on him. And it's funny to just see everyone just, flip-flop. I have no problem with Ronaldo going. If he stays, great. But like you said, you've mentioned this quite a lot. Obviously, we're in a rebuild. And Ronaldo's not going to be a long-term vision for that rebuild because he's not going to be here in 3 years' time, or even the year after this. But we have to start looking. I don't know if our transfer plans are going to change. Maybe Anthony doesn't come in. We have to go out and get a striker, because last season, mate, we barely scored goals. I think it was the lowest goal tally that we've ever had at Man United, and that was with Ronaldo being here, and he scored a fair amount of goals himself.
Yeah,
You can't put your trust into like the wingers getting you the goals, and he's clearly. And someone like Martial, you can never place your trust in a guy who wanted out last season and he still wants out.
Yeah,
so listen, I don't know.
Pav, I've even said a lot of things. I don't want to like leave certain things behind. Man United fans turning on Cristiano Ronaldo are an embarrassment, and I tell you why,
they are.
I'll tell you why they're an embarrassment, because these are the types of fans who they live in cloud cuckoo land. Because 1 minute they're screaming, "Where's your loyalty? Where's your loyalty? Where's your loyalty?" But when it comes to players that they don't like, who are dedicated to the club, they want them sold at the drop of a hat. So when they deem a player not good enough, loyalty doesn't matter. But when a player deems your club not good enough, he has to be loyal. How does that logic make any sense to a sane, normal, human, grown-up, adult? Kids are kids, but adults is crazy. On Ronaldo, the narrative that we finished second before he arrived is an absolute abomination. We didn't drop down last year because Ronaldo arrived. Yes, there were times where we needed other options, but that was because Ollie didn't manage the squad right. They lost faith in him. The club sacked him 6 weeks too late. And listen, we all thought when they appointed Ralph, there was a plan. Ralph to go upstairs and then a manager to come in, but Ralph would sort of start the process of this change. But in fact, that was wrong, because we were looking at two managers that play completely different styles to Ralph Rangnick, that had different ideas and philosophies. The club messed up. We should have broke the bank in November and brought Ten Hag in then. We should have turned around to Ajax and to him and said, what will it take financially to end your season early at Ajax and bring you in? Because there's always a price. There is always a price where a team goes, okay. Now, if we'd have done that and Ten Hag was here in November, we wouldn't have had that second half of the season that we had. We wouldn't have come second, no chance, with Liverpool and Man City being so good. But I believe we would have finished in that top four. We dropped 15 to 20 points through not trying. And that's Ronaldo's problem. He is just worried that in this final season at the club, it could go the same way. If the player's down tall for Ten Hag, if the player's behaving the same way, he is purely and simply worried that his final season could end in that regards. That doesn't mean Ronaldo had a perfect season. It doesn't mean Ronaldo didn't go through a 2-month period where he missed so many. I mean, there was that kind of January to March period where he missed so many gilt-edged chances. That cost us points as well. But I'm not blaming it all on Ronaldo. It was a team effort. I also understand why he wants to leave. If he was 29, if he was 27 and not 37, I'd be a little bit more annoyed. But these United fans are just an absolute disgrace. And a lot of them, I'll tell you why a lot of them are annoyed. I'll tell you what it comes down to. A lot of these people, Pav, it's a weird one. You've got the top Reds who they're trying to use him to defend Ollie, which is very weird because I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but Ronaldo's a bigger legend at this club than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is. So it's kind of weird. They're kind of using Ronaldo to defend a fouled manager at the club, even though he's a legend. But the weirdest one are the Ollie outers are kind of pretending now like Ronaldo ruined what Ollie was building when they said Ollie wasn't building shit. But you know why that is? Because you remember the one player, barring Paul Pogba, that Ollie outers love and protect and hold above everybody else at the Man United squad is Anthony Martial. And this isn't a dig at Martial. Martial, I'm not even annoyed at him. But every time a player's come in that's pushed Martial further down the pecking order, these individuals have gone for him. Whether it was Zlatan, whether it was Lukaku, whether it was Rashford getting picked in front of him, whether it was Ronaldo joining, they've all turned on him. Every single... do you get where I'm coming from? It's all an absolute abomination from these Man United fans to turn... They're just bang out of order.
There was something that you just said there about Ronaldo thinking, are these players going to throw Ten Hag under the bus? And on one of your top 6 shows that you've done a few days ago, someone said something about Ten Hag not having an eye for talent. But do you know why that is? Because he's probably seen the amount of players who throw managers under the bus. It's probably him bringing in players who he knows ain't going to do that to him. So that's why there's like more links and signings towards like the Dutch league and Ajax players, because why would you want to like bring in a lot of different players who you don't really have a relationship with and possibly throw you under the bus later on? So that's why I'm not really annoyed with some of the stuff that we're going for. I'm just more annoyed that it's not getting done quick enough. But obviously, that's just my personal opinion.
And I get that. And he wants an army of players on his side from day one that are going to work hard in his image straight away. And if people can't see that, I don't expect rivals to understand it. And even if they do, I expect them to banter. But Man United fans need to wise up. Pav, great call, my friend. Thank you for coming on and having your say. I really appreciate it.
Cheers for having me on, man.
And thank you. We had a super chat that came in. Marvin's on the show next to have his say. Where's that super chat gone? I've lost it, people. There it is. Mike says, can't be mad. He wants to keep stacking Champions League stats. Not many years left. There is also that. He doesn't want to have a season out of the Champions League when Messi's in it. Why would he? He doesn't want that. He wants to retire with the most Champions League goals. And again, I think Ronaldo at 37 has earned the right to be selfish. Of course he has. Of course he's earned the right for it. Like, look what he's done for all the clubs he's been at. More Man United and Real Madrid than anywhere else, but he's done bits. People have got to calm down. Marvin's on the show now. What are you saying, Marvin?
Terry, good morning, man. How's it going?
Yeah, very good. What do you want to say, brother?
Okay. I just want to weigh in on this United transfer issues, a little bit. Yeah. And this Ronaldo issue, people are taking so serious. I don't know why everybody wants to die because it's Man United. When Lewandowski has to leave Bayern Munich, nobody is having a meltdown, So, I mean, other players are leaving clubs. Look at Jesus, just signed for Arsenal. He lives in a Champions League club. People using Champions League as the benchmark, saying this is the reason why somebody... You don't know the reason players wants to leave. All of us here are speculating. People are saying Ronaldo hasn't played in the Europa League. Let's wind back to Fergie time. Yeah. So many times Man United dropped out of the Champions League and go to Europa League. Ronaldo was in that team. I remember with the Winge. Was he playing in Benfica then or something? If I'm not making a mistake. They used to knock us out of the Europa League. Ronaldo was there. Rooney was there. So let's forget this notion. If the man wants to leave, let him go. He's 37 years old. Maybe he has other plans for his family or his future. Let the man do what he wants to do. But I don't think this is the case. This is just the media trying to sabotage United transfer plan again. Because this De Jong issue, I think, is actually influencing what this Ronaldo story is all about. To me, as far as I'm concerned. So
Marvin, listen, I hear where you're coming from, mate. And of course, things will always be blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
When it comes to Manchester United, there's no doubt. And rivals in the comment section, like, totally get it. Totally get it. Listen, Marvin, great call, my friend. Thanks for coming on and having your say. I appreciate it, brother. And we'll speak to you again soon. Cheers, Marvin. Thank you. Man. It's good to have callers with the cameras on. Next on the show today, Matt's here. Matt's a Chelsea fan. What are you saying, my friend?
Big up, Terry. Big up, Terry. I want you to come in and get involved in this because obviously there is a slight chance Cristiano Ronaldo could come to Chelsea despite him, still being a United player. There's obviously that small chance. And I want to come in and say, I think Ronaldo is still a fantastic player at his level. I've always been a Messi fan my whole life, but I think Ronaldo in the Premier League is such a great talent. And I want to quickly ask you, Terry, this question as well, that if Chelsea were to buy Ronaldo from Manchester United, would you be scared?
My answer is going to make rivals annoyed at me, but the answer is yes, next season, but no long term because he'll be at your club for one season. Does that make sense? It's not like losing Ronaldo when he was 23, 24, and he could spend a decade at your club killing us. This is why, for me, the whole situation is being blown out of proportion. He's got 1 year left irrespective. Does that make sense? And for I don't think we're going to finish in front of you next year anyway, with or without Ronaldo. So this is where sometimes you have to review a situation, but well, actually, is it that bad in the grand scheme of things, losing Ronaldo now, even to a rival? The only time it's bad is if we don't reinvest his money. I saw journalists say yesterday that United are scared to lose him because they don't think they've got enough finances for anybody else. If anyone's buying into that tosh, they're idiots. Him leaving frees up £26 million. That's enough money year one to buy a £60 million player because you don't pay transfers in lump sums, generally speaking. So you're kind of in a situation where if he goes to Chelsea, I think he'll score goals for you. He scores goals for everybody. But I think he'll do 1 year at Chelsea and then move on. So do you get where I'm coming from? So it's like I wouldn't like to see him up against us with another Premier League club shirt on because he's a United legend. But at the end of next season, I believe he'll leave whatever club he goes to and maybe then look to go on to America or somewhere like that for the last couple of years. That's what I think he'll do.
Yeah, and I want to just quickly say that you're 100% right to the point that long term, I wouldn't be scared. And I think possibly getting him on a loan or something from Manchester United because, looking at it, maybe he does want an outing. And Todd Boehly's obviously spoken to his agent last week, about interest that his agent, Mendes, I think it's called Menz. I'm not sure the pronunciation of his name, but that his agent and what offers he can give him. Obviously, he's got Joao Felix, he's got a lot of other players, but his main man is Cristiano Ronaldo. So we could possibly see a move coming into Chelsea with Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think Ronaldo is a top goal scorer. As you said, Terry, he will score goal for us. And that's what we have been lacking the last 2 seasons. So getting him, I think, Royal fans, as you said, Man United fans, you won't be too upset for the long term, but I think the short term, again, having him for 1 season can definitely fix our problems in the attack short term. But I just wanted to get that question, Terry. Appreciate you answering that. And yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. Appreciate that.
Cheers, Matty. Top man. Thank you. I have noticed on the show recently, whenever I'm positive about Man United, people get angry. People have been calling me a Glazer prop. Like, imagine calling Terry Flewers from the Football Terrace someone who's supporting the Glazers. I'm not. But people can't. I don't know what it is. Maybe people get it and they struggle to like counter what I'm saying. I think that's probably what it is. I'm against the Glazers, but I'm being supportive and giving time to the new people running operations at the club because they're new to the job. And it was always going to take time to fix. Now, if after 2 or 3 summers, they're not getting any better, things are not speeding up, they're not signing the right players, we're in the same mess, then I'll criticize them. But they're new people. I'm not going to, I think for me, it's one of those, I just have this innate ability to be able to give a new person doing a new role ample time to get it right. I don't sort of lose patience quicker with the next guy because the previous individual was poor. I just don't, this is not part of my nature. I'm not like that. When I used to coach and teach people karate and kickboxing, it was almost like it didn't matter if I had a bad student that didn't listen, was insubordinate. When I moved on to the next one, whether it be in a private lesson, whether it be in a different class, I didn't take it out on them because I was angry with the previous group or person. I've just never been like that. So maybe that's just where I'm a little bit different. There is some news this morning, though, here from Samuel Luckhurst that Cristiano Ronaldo said, Man United have said that Ronaldo is not expected back today due to family reasons, and the club has accepted this explanation. Well, of course, this is going to throw people into an absolute fury over Ronaldo. They are not going to believe for a single second that this is true. I'm pretty sure they're going to be angry. I'm pretty sure that they are going to be annoyed. But we will see. A lot of people saying check Fabrizio's tweets. Fabrizio's tweeted this. With all due respect, Fabrizio's tweeted this 40 minutes after Samuel Luckhurst shared this news. Samuel Luckhurst news about the returning of him to training today. But there we go. Terry, you are a Glazer supporter. Myrtle Fletcher already shown enough that they are Woodward 2.0. Nice try. They might end up being Woodward 2.0. But they've done nothing to prove that at this moment in time. Imagine trying to undo 10 years of failure, 10 years of being a laughing stock in the transfer market, 10 years of no club taking you seriously. Imagine your first summer really running the operation. Everybody saying, right, within 6 weeks, if you haven't made us the best team in the transfer market, that means you've failed. Listen, Yusuf, you're entitled to your opinion, and I know you're bantering. But you're not going to get me to say something like that straight away. I'm going to let it cook a little while. Maybe they'll undercook it. Maybe they'll burn it. But maybe they'll get it just right. Ronaldo has never played in the Europa League. The caller just now was waffling. I think what he meant, Ronaldo has been part of Man United teams that have fouled in the past, is what he was alluding to. And it wasn't the Europa League. We missed out in the Champions League. He wasn't obviously at the club when we went into the Europa League from the Champions League. I don't know what year that was. I want to say it was like 2010. He'd already left by then, I think. But he was in the group stages where we fell out the group stages in like 06. I want to say it was 06. It might have been 05. One of those 2 years. But didn't go into that thing there. There we go. Ronaldo is going. Frankie De Jong not coming. The fan base needs to stop being deluded. If Erik Ten Hag was supposed to perform minor miracles, now he has to do one never been done before, is what Newton Heath believes. I don't quite know what your last statement means. I don't quite get it. The last part of it anyway, my friend, but there we go. Let's have a little look here today. A lot of people saying I told you to. Yeah, a lot of people telling me to check Fabrizio's tweet. Yeah, I mean, that's, again, as I already said, that's Samuel Luckhurst news. That's already been put out there. Legendary Villain is back with us. What are you saying, Legend?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. That's perfect. What are you saying, my friend?
Yeah, I just want to run a little bit about certain United fan bases, because this Ronaldo's news is just crazy to me. So first of all, we had a guy who literally scored 23 goals last season, and without his goals, we would have pretty much been back in what, 16th, 15th in the Premier League.
Correct.
And the whole logic ties to last season, which I've said countless times, which was a false season due to Chelsea issues with Lampard, Liverpool playing without Van Dijk for the entire season, and like there were so many factors that kicked into last season due to us being second, and that was one of the lowest second points in history of the Premier League anyway. And that's why I always said it was a false season. This season, when all the teams were prepped up and all the teams were ready to go, our real position showed. We're sixth. And this fan base blaming Ronaldo for the core issue of why we're sixth is crazy to me. Like you said earlier, right? You had the top Reds, right? We just want to prove Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the right man for the job, which I know for a fact it wasn't. And you have Ole Outers who are trying to blame Ronaldo while defending Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the same time, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah, listen, I get it. And look, listen, I've seen a few comments from people, Terry, you need to have more passion against this. More passion against what? Like, I don't even think this is that big a story. I really don't. A 37-year-old who may leave in the last year of his contract, who's leaving at the end of next season anyway, at the beginning of a 3-year rebuild at Man United, for a player that the vast majority of Man United fans last season thought was a big problem. Why are we angry? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, for me, it's false outrage, false passion, false annoyance. And as you pointed out, I don't think I disagree with you on. Second wasn't a false position. We deserved to be second that year. We were the second best team in the Premier League that season. Didn't make us the second best team in England because Liverpool had a really bad year. And there was obviously Lampard started the season at Chelsea and Tuchel finished it and all these things. I don't believe in false positions per se. You deserve to finish where you finished. However, I believe there's really good players in this squad that a new manager can get good things out of. But I also don't believe that Ronaldo joining it was the reason we dropped down to that position. Because if Ronaldo's that reason, this is the irony in all of it. I've seen certain United fans, especially some really big YouTubers, say Ronaldo is one of the reasons we dropped so low. Well, by that logic, why are you so angry about the transfer window? Because it just means get rid of Ronaldo and we'll shoot back up to second.
Exactly.
It's stupid. It's stupid. And that's why rivals can banter it. And it's why I'm as cool as cucumber about this Ronaldo thing, because it doesn't make any sense. He's bending over backwards now to keep him this year. Like, and then him leaving in a year's time doesn't even make sense anyway. It's like, if I was Ten Hag, I'd want him to stay because he will score goals. I'd want that presence in the dressing room if he's on board. But if he leaves, I'm telling you, Ten Hag isn't going to be crying because Ten Hag isn't setting up the future of the club around Ronaldo because he's leaving anyway. Exactly. It's mad. It's mad.
I don't get this. I literally do not get this fan base anymore. Like, you have people literally saying Ronaldo is the core problem of this club, when all Ronaldo did was raise the standards to where we should have those standards in the first place. Our standards should always be around win titles every single year. Our fan base went from winning titles to, guess what? Trust the process. How did we get here? Like, literally.
The thing is, I understand it. Now, listen, you have to a degree, trust the process in terms of, not trust it, because not everyone is going to, but there has to be a process now. We are starting a rebuild again. So it's going to take time to catch the team at the top, if we indeed can ever get there. But at the same time, the overall standard has to be there. You just know that it's going to take 2 or 3 seasons to be able to compete. But that's why the Ronaldo anger is annoying. Now, I get people want equally, like people getting annoyed that the talent ID's off because he's only going for these Ajax players. Well, that's because we've got a player power problem. So he needs people that are bought into his ideas early to be able to fix these things.
That's not even an issue. What, like, no one bats an eye when Pep does the exact same thing. Pep goes mostly for Spanish players. The start of City, it was going for Spanish players. No one bats an eye when Pep did it.
Look, it is what it is. Jose's got a history of doing this as an example. Managers have done it in the past. The big case in point is, well, Klopp never did it. No, Klopp didn't do it. But there are more than one ways to skin a cat.
Arsene Wenger did it. Arsene Wenger did it with French players. What are we
Well,
talking about here?
I mean, when I was a kid, Arsenal were literally called the French, like they used to call Arsenal the French Connection. So listen, it's been done before, but this is what I'd say: rivals are meant to banter us on this. It's Man United fans, as I keep saying, twerking for rivals. The fungus fans, the fake outrage, pretending they're annoyed, rather than just giving it a little bit of time to see what happens. Now, if we end up with signing no on this window, we end up losing some more of our best players, we don't sign anybody with any real good quality, we have a terrible season, then I'll hold my hands up and say, yeah, do you know what, guys? You were all right. You were all right about this. But I'm just going to, there's no point me being stressed about something right now at this moment in time. It's crazy. Legendary Villain, thanks for the call, my friend, and we'll speak again soon. Cheers, bro. Thank you. But there we go. Yeah, listen, as I say, there's a lot of false, was it flux? Is that the word for it? Flux outrage over this sort of stuff. It's crazy. The same people that wanted Ronaldo out and are angry that he might go. What? Why do people keep going on, it will take 2 to 3 seasons to compete? Man United will compete for trophies this season. I think United could compete for trophies this season. They could win a League Cup. They could win an FA Cup, depending on the draw, depending on how much they improve. Could win the Europa League, depending on how much they improve. When I say challenge, I mean challenging to win the Premier League title. Being capable and being considered someone that can win the Champions League is what I mean. So I'll clarify my point just so that makes a little bit more sort of sense to everybody kind of tuning in relation to that. Ajax have agreed their fee. Ajax agreed their fee for Bergwijn. Where's that come from? I haven't seen that news this morning. I knew that he was close. We spoke about that on the terrace a little while back. Let me just have a little look at that. Is that just come out? Have a little look. Can't see. Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. That's done. That's dusted. Yeah. From Mike Pavey. That's it. Listen, I mean, that'll be, again, a lot of people kind of have this feeling that's something that could trigger Anthony to move on. I don't quite know if that's true. And the reason that I say that is because they've had a lot of players leave. They've had a lot of players leave. But there we go. I need to just share something on the old Twitter box. There we go. That's done. Ray's on the show now. What are you saying, Ray?
Yeah, morning, Terry. How are you, mate?
I'm very good. What do you want to say, my friend?
Yeah, I got 2 things to say this morning. First thing I want to say, actually, I'm coming in a different angle from Ronaldo. I'm coming in as a win-win situation for United. Why I say this is because, if he leaves, we're going to get money for him, and we can go and get Anthony because we're going to get all of his wages off because he's on a lot of wages. And if he stays, he'll score the goals. So I'm not really worried about Ronaldo because of his age. I mean, he's 37. If this was a 26, 27-year-old Ronaldo, I'll probably say, but no, United a win-win situation with him. And I want to go on to Frank and De Jong. Now, I know that a lot of people have been talking about him over the weekend. Now, also it's a win-win situation with United. Because A, why would a player take a pay cut to stay at a club that's not going to play him? And plus, Barcelona are stacked in that midfield of where De Jong plays. Now, if he is foolish enough to say, okay, I'm going to stay and take a pay cut, he'd be playing He'll be taking less money, probably won't be starting, unhappy, and then he'll be looking at United thinking, wait, Ten Hag has guaranteed me first team appearance. I can get the money that I'm already on, and I've got a World Cup. So who is going to, in the right mind, stay at a club that's going to say, well, okay, you've taken your pay cut now, but we're going to play boosters in front of you. We're going to play all the other young kids in front of you. And then Van Gaal's going to look at it and go, well, Frankie, you're not been playing, mate. I can't really put you in the World Cups. So who is, so United are winning this. So I don't understand why everyone is so crazy.
I think what's interesting, this is what's going to be said. If Man United miss out on De Jong and Ronaldo leaves, it's going to be what a failure. If Ronaldo stays and we sign De Jong, it will be called a failure and that they're only staying for money. Ronaldo couldn't find a club willing to pay him his salary, so he's staying. And Frankie De Jong's only joined Man United because he wanted to keep earning big money. It's not for the right reasons. It doesn't matter whether we sign these players or lose out on these players. It will be spun as negative by the Fungus fans. And of course, rivals are going to say it's negative. And I expect that from rivals. I can take it from rivals. It doesn't matter whether we win or lose in these transfer battles. They will be spun as negative. So that's why I'm relaxed about it, because it doesn't matter what we do. We're going to get the same reaction from people, good, bad, or indifferent. So just take it on the chin and roll the punches and move. It's just, Ray, thanks for the call, my friend. I really do appreciate it. Top man. Thank you. Thank you. And you can clip that, by the way, people. If we sign Frankie De Jong, I will say the same people that are outraged. Why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long? Oh, my God. They'll be going, oh, he's only come for the money. Is he really a mercenary? Does he really want to be here? Is it going to work? Is he... They'll be negative still. Equally, rivals will just say he's a mercenary. They won't go, oh, my God, United did it. Because nobody will want to take the L. If he ends up changing his mind about joining Man United, I'll hold my hands up and say, listen, we were advanced. Yes, his head was turned. Yes, he may have, according to some reports, agreed terms. But in the end, he decided, no, you take the L, you move on, you wipe him out. For me, you be a grown man. You take it on the chin. The banter won't deter me. I keep making content and I move on. But I know if Man United sign him, that all of you in the comment section, all the people on Twitter that are like, no way, not happening. You're not going to come onto the videos and leave a comment and go, actually, I can't believe this happened. What great business to Man United. You're all going to call him a mercenary. Say that you're still going to put it negative. That's why the banter doesn't hit. The banter only works. Banter only works when it's done at the right times. If every move we make is bantered, the banter gets diluted. It loses its potency. There has to be an ebb and a flow, a give and a take. You know what I mean? Like I had a manager once who very rarely used to get angry at work, but every now and then he did. And when he raised his voice, when he was stern, the whole room would go silent. Do you know why? Because his name was Tony. Because Tony was never angry. If you've got a boss that's always grumpy, always angry, there comes a point where everyone just gets used to it. And that kind of assertive approach loses its potency. Because, well, you're always like that. How angry are you? You get angry like that when your tea's cold. You get angry like it when we have a bad day in the office. So which one? And that's why the banter don't hit the same anymore. You guys are, we said the expression when I lived in Essex, milking it, bruv. You're milking the banter too much every day. Too much. But there we go. Safe's on the show. What are you saying, Safe?
Hey man, what's up?
How you doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. What are you saying? What are you here to say?
Well, I don't know if you're going to sign De Jong. Hopefully we do. I believe you. But at the end of the day, if you sign 5 players, that's still not enough.
Not enough for what? Not enough for what?
Not enough to win the Premier League.
Yeah, but okay, stop. Did you expect us to sign enough players this summer to win the Premier League?
Yes, because with the manager. Hold on. Let me educate you. You told me that Erik Ten Hag is a good manager, right? He is. He's a good manager. So why can't we not win the Premier League? Why can't we not challenge to the Premier League? Why can't we not be within 5 to 6 points behind Man City? That close of winning the Premier League.
Okay, so let me ask, what content creator, what YouTuber has put that feeling in your head? Who have you heard say that we should be buying enough players this summer to win the league? Who said that?
Me, because I'm making it up.
You made it up. That's in your. So in your head, I thought you maybe heard it somewhere else and you were repeating it. So
no, but listen.
You believe it's plausible to buy
yes, possible.
7-8 players this summer and to win the Premier League.
Yes, it is, because at the end of the day, I'm not a third loser, Terry. I'm a winner. I'm not like you.
Hang on, you said you're not a loser. Last time you were on the show, you were begging me for a job.
Yes, I know. I was begging you for a job here, but I'm still unemployed now. I'm still looking for work. But I'm not a third loser, right? I'm a winner, Terry. I'm a successful person. See, hold on. Go back to 2014 season. Leicester City almost got relegated, right?
Yes.
2015. In 2016, they won the Premier League. So how is that?
So what your point makes sense to a degree, but you're missing out for this season with United a huge piece of context. You would need for Tottenham, for Chelsea, for Man City, for Arsenal and Liverpool to all have really bad seasons, and for Man United to have an exceptional one. Well, because that's what happened when Leicester won the league. The traditional top 6 had bad seasons, all of them, and Leicester had a very good season. If Man City and Liverpool compete to their standard level, United, no matter who we sign this summer, no matter how good Ten Hag is, it's so unlikely to finish in front of the two of them.
Yes, we would. If we go to the season unbeaten like Arsenal in 2004, 49 games unbeaten, we would win the Premier League. If people say that Ten Hag is a good manager, he should only lose 1 game a season, 1 or 2 games a season. That's my expectation of Ten Hag. Otherwise, sack him. Because I'm not here yet to wait for 3 years to win the title. I want to win the title this season or next season. That's my expectation. Why did you sign a good manager then? Why?
You've got to build something, my friend, and I understand it. Listen, I want the standards high. I want us within a couple of seasons to be ready to challenge, but you've got to look at the lie of the land that you are in.
Lie of what?
What do you mean lie of what? We've got 3 brilliant teams already ahead of us in the Premier League by a long way. It's going to take a little bit of time. Listen, well, of course it is. Of course it is.
Not. Listen, Terry, hold on. I work as an IT engineer, right?
Well, you don't. You don't work as an IT engineer. Right now, you watch Jeremy Carl.
I work as an IT engineer. The only reason why I'm unemployed at the moment, is because most of the jobs I'm getting offered is just on the phones, right? And that's a downgrade to me. I'm a desktop support engineer, so I'll go to your desk and I'll fix your computer for you. So I don't do jobs below my standard. That's the only reason why, right? My expectation is always going to be high because I expect my team to win.
Yeah, but you're missing a fundamental point here. My expectations in my life for all things are higher, but you have to understand that it takes time to get there. You know, you can't go from where Man United were last season to winning the Premier League in the space of a year unless everybody above you drops off, because you've got to catch them. So you can have your high expectations, but you're missing out the fundamental building blocks in the middle. You know, it's like you've got to look at it like losing weight and getting in shape. Okay, if you look like quite a skinny, thin, small man, you don't look very broad. If you wanted to build up though, big shoulders, bigger arms, nice ripped stomach, you couldn't do it in 6 months in the gym. It would take you years of eating right and training consistently to grow your muscle mass, to grow your body. Doesn't mean you don't have high standards from the beginning, but it takes time to get there. And that's what I think you're missing out on there. But listen, Safe, I appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. Top man. Thank you. Wants to win the league in a year. What sort of rebuild is it if the first signing comes kicking and screaming? Look, I appreciate that the super chat. And this is, again, the over-exaggeration. I get the banter. Frankie de Jong wouldn't be coming to Man United kicking and screaming. It's never been reported that he doesn't want to join Man United, not in the broad sense. There's been a few people saying they don't know if he wants to. His preference would be Barcelona. But if Barcelona don't want him, what's he going to retire? Or is he going to, if he accepts, and a lot of the reports, again, you've clearly either not seen these reports or you haven't read them. There's a lot of reports from Spain. There's been a lot of reports in England where he's accepted that Barcelona want to sell him. You think he's not professional? You think he isn't going to go, right, I wanted to stay there. David Beckham, he didn't want to leave Man United. Did he not have he had a good career afterwards? Yap Stam didn't want to leave Manchester United. He did pretty well afterwards. There have been lots of players that have left clubs when they didn't want to, when they were sold, and have gone on to do very, very well. So I don't necessarily think that it's a negative. This kicking and screaming notion doesn't really make sense. But, you know, that same logic means nobody should buy a player that's going from a bigger club than theirs. Because does Minamino really want to leave Liverpool? No, of course he'd love to stay at Liverpool with what they're doing. Is he kicking and screaming going to his new club? No. These are professional people that go, right, I'm going to move on to something new. He hasn't won. If he'd have said, I don't want to move to Manchester, I don't want to live in England, I don't like Ten Hag, and I never want to play for Manchester United Football Club, and we were still trying to buy him, your super chat would make a lot more sense. But I think what you're doing is you're taking his desire to be a Barca player and you're turning it into kicking and screaming and hating the idea of playing for Man United. The two things don't compute together. So that's just my take anyway. But listen, people, I appreciate you all tuning in, all the support you've given, the super chats that have come in as well. Do me a big, big favor and smash that like button before you leave. Really do appreciate it. All the views and all the support that you do. Actually, De Jong does not want to go to Man United. He says he wants to play for a top club. Again, a twisting of the words, but it's all good. Listen, you do your thing. Like I said, if he does, that's you see how the guys are already pointing out. Oh my God, I know you've got him, but he doesn't really want to be there, does he? Whether we lose out or we win the race for him, it's always going to be spun as a negative. So Man United fans just learn to deal with what it is to support the most hated but biggest club in England. It's as simple as that. Viewers, smash the like and the share button. Chelsea news later on today. Top 6, back at 6. Make sure you're tuning in. Great panel lined up for you tonight. Take care. Goodbye. God bless.